Have to be willing to suffer to get to the other side. You know, the other side of suffering is a whole other world that people have no idea they even exist. From the very beginning, how I became who I am today, I grew up very soft, very insecure. I was beat as a child a lot, not only physically, but also mentally. My dad was an alcoholic, so it transferred to him being very abusive, me growing up. Not just to me, but also my mother. And from that, my foundation at an early age was cracked. I had a very cracked foundation growing up. So with the cracked foundation and my mom having a cracked foundation, I had no one to really, show me the ropes, show me the way. And so we went from that kind of cracked foundation to another cracked foundation. I went to a small town in Indiana, in Brazilian. And there was about 5 black families there. So being called nigger was something that happened regularly. I had a lot of friends, but also, when you have a cracked foundation, the only thing you really see is the negative. You don't see a lot of people that like you. All you see is the people that don't like you. So that cracked foundation just kept on getting more and more cracked. And throughout the years, I developed a stutter, had a lot of issues with people, social anxiety. I copied all through school. I had learning disability, so I cheated a lot going through school. So my foundation continued to get cracked. And when you get to that point in your life, and no one is there to really help you out, you have to figure some things out. So what made me go every day is basically that cracked foundation and not liking it. So I had to learn how to mend that cracked foundation alone. And what happens is you have to really develop a lot of mental toughness. But to me, mental toughness wasn't enough. I had to really develop a calloused mind. So I had a victim mentality. I was a victim. Everybody messed my life up. My dad, society, my mom, whatever it may be, I was dealt a bad hand. And so it gives you a victim mentality. So I developed a way to get over the victim's mentality. And it was through callousing your mind. So I was literally callousing over the victim's mentality through outworking on my faults. So I developed a work ethic that became known as, what it is now. That's how I got this world toughest man. Because I'm not the best person in the world. I'm not the smartest. I'm not anything. But I learned to outwork everybody around me. And that's how I got to where I'm today.
Goggins' early life was far from glamorous. He grew up in a challenging environment, facing poverty, racism, and health problems, including obesity. Despite these adversities, he enlisted in the United States Air Force in his early 20s, serving as a Tactical Air Control Party (TACP) specialist. This experience marked the beginning of his transformation into an elite athlete and an inspirational figure. One of David Goggins' most notable accomplishments is his completion of numerous ultramarathons and endurance races, often in extreme conditions. He has participated in events such as the Badwater 135, a grueling 135-mile race for Death Valley.
So many people call me the hardest man on the planet. I got to that point from having a never-ending work ethic. So if you want anything in life, a lot of people, we live in a society right now where mediocrity is often rewarded. Like mediocrity is almost a standard. And for me, if you live that way, that's where you could be at. So let's say you have 10 people. You have 10 people and all of them are mediocre. And you beat those 10 people in a race or at work, whatever it may be, you're really still mediocre. What we do in life is we set our standards to everybody else. What we do in life is we look at what someone did before us. We look at a standard. I don't look at anybody's standard. I set my own standard. And how I became this, whatever people call the hardest man on the planet, is I literally set my own standards. I started to reinvent the wheel for myself. I didn't follow the crowd. Whatever the crowd was designed to follow, I did what I had to do to get where I had to go. And in doing that, that's where true growth is finding yourself. I'm not trying to be like Michael Jordan or be like Tiger Woods or anybody else. I'm trying to be like David Goggins. And through that, you can find out what you're made of. And you are trying to conquer yourself. And that's how I got this title. So I'm always sharpening my sword. And how I sharpen my sword is I have a mentality that my refrigerator is never full. I've never arrived. And every time I get close to the top of the mountain, I fall back down on purpose. I believe that true growth is at scratch. Starting from scratch is true growth. You have to have friction in your life. There has to be friction in your life for you to be able to move forward. I believe that a lot more people can relate to the struggle, a lot more than the success. People relate a lot more to that. I relate a lot more to a person who is the underdog. Most of us in this world are underdogs. There's very few of us out here who are the 1%ers. And those 1%ers are those people who are like the CEOs, these people who are like the best basketball, the best golfer. Very few people are there. It's those people who are at the very bottom in the middle who are trying to get there. It's all about work ethic. So everybody likes the underdog. That's why that whole Rocky story, everybody loves a Rocky story. But the thing about it is, to develop that Rocky story, you got to work your ass off. And not many people are willing to do that part of it. That's the hard part about overcoming the odds, overcoming yourself, is you have to create a Rocky story.
David Goggins' philosophy of embrace the suck is a powerful mindset that he has used throughout his life to overcome adversity, push through extreme challenges, and achieve remarkable feats. Embracing the suck means acknowledging that life can be difficult, uncomfortable, and painful at times. Rather than avoiding or complaining about these challenges, Goggins encourages us to accept them as an essential part of the journey towards self-improvement and personal growth. This mindset promotes resilience and mental toughness by willingly facing adversity. We develop the mental fortitude to persevere in the face of discomfort and pain.
There's a lot of people in life who are theorists. Theorists are people who, it may be that guy in the corner who's in the library all day long. Old man with gray hair. He's a master of the mind. He mastered the mind by being a theorist. He got all these books. He read about how the brain is supposed to work. That's a theorist. He has all these theories on how it's supposed to be done. You want to be a practitioner in life. A lot of people who study theories will put these bars, these invisible bars and barriers on your mind about what we can and cannot achieve as human beings. That's a theorist. A practitioner will listen to a man like a theorist and defy the odds. So never be a theorist, be a practitioner. Be a guy who goes out there and actually does the work. Put yourself in situations. Like when I was going through Hell Week, I got to see where my mind was. It's 130 hours. Hell Week's 130 hours. At hour 48, 72, your mind is a mess. You're all over the place. A theorist would tell me what he thinks is going to happen. A practitioner dives into suffering, and as he's suffering, he's then writing the book while he's suffering.
Please, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more motivational, life-changing videos like this one. Thank you for watching.